Hey darlings. How's everyone? Hey Owen, hey Phil. Hey Vulgar Bandit. Happy Friday. We actually just lost a follower. Hey Jim. I'm good. I actually had a really bad day. And I also lost my favorite earrings and I can't find them and I'm really sad about that.
Maybe you'll find them.
So today we are analyzing Darling games. We have 2 submitted games so far. New flowers, yeah, we do have new flowers. You noticed. Let me show you. Hey Jojo. We have yellow roses. But they're a little bit disheveled. I also took off the leaves because they last longer if you take out the leaves, so they don't get like weird and soggy and things. So Minimundo has new flowers. The tulips were falling apart. All the petals were falling. I also I just had a terrible day. I cried at work for the first time. Well, actually I cried before at work, but this time I had tears before, but this time I actually cried because I was making spinach, eggs, and potatoes. It's a German dish that they like. And we changed salt. So we used to use this yellow packaged salt, which was just normal salt, which I call sodium chloride. Oh, I just got a message from someone. But now we changed to sea salt. So I was used to using the previous salt. So I didn't think there was much difference because it was the same size. It's fine sea salt. And I was making boiled potatoes. And same with pasta. I don't really measure salt when I'm salting water before I boil potatoes or cook pasta. And I tried a potato. They were coming in like 2 minutes or something. And I tried a potato and I was like, frick, this is really salty. And I couldn't do anything about it. I had already used all the potatoes. A whole freaking, a whole bag of potatoes. And I didn't have enough time to cook. It took like 20 minutes to cook. And they were coming to eat. And they were like, and I put the egg on top and then they asked, like, did you salt and pepper the egg? And I said, no, but the potatoes are salty enough. Can't rinse them. Could I have rinsed them? I thought about that, but I thought that would just make them cold. And I didn't know that that's a thing. Wait, maybe next time I'll do that. I'll rinse them and then I can boil them again in unsalted water. You've rinsed over salted food. I'll do that next time. That's a good idea. Yes, I did think about that, but I thought that that's dumb. But actually, maybe it will work. Since you said it, it should work. And anyway, the woman got really mad. Well, she was like half mad. She said in German, and I didn't understand it. Well, I did understand it, but she's like, please, no salt. But she said vinegar and salt, so I thought she said like no vinegar and salt, but I was like, but I didn't put vinegar in it, but okay, no vinegar and salt. But I guess that means like too much or something. I don't know what it means, but less, it means less salt. So she just said vinegar salts, and then I had tears in my eyes and I was like, I know it was too salty, but I couldn't do anything about it. Okay, I'll do that. Boil them again and unsalted. Yeah, I should have done that. I thought like maybe it's my palate that it's too salty for me, but it was too salty for them, and yeah. And then they gave me some German proverb, and they were talking to me in German, and I was like, oh, I don't understand what you're saying, and they were like, it's a proverb, are you in love or something? Because they say when you're in love, like you put salt on stuff because because you forget your measurements or something, so you're not thinking. Anyways, who do you cook for? I cook for the staff of an intensive care unit for kids, and I cook for the kids. So for the kids, I usually give them the same thing, but they don't eat spinach, so I gave them chicken instead. But I made their potatoes, which was the same potatoes, into mash. So the milk kind of cut the salt a bit, and then I also added some vegetables like carrots and stuff. So that also cut out the salt, and it was a bit less salty, but it was still really salty. 48/100 seems about right for exactly halfway through the month. I can't believe we're halfway through the month. That's crazy, isn't it? We also have Owen's game for analysis. So we've got a few games for analysis. Okay, let's get right in. My rant is over. Is my rant over? Let me think about it. Yeah, I think my rant is over. But I also I had my meeting for work, like finally I had my probation meeting. Cool time for my rant. Oh, please go ahead, Owen. This is a rant encouraged zone. I want to hear everyone ranting. Hello, Kjol. You woke up the bee. Probation. You know, the thing after 6 months of work, you get your contract, reviewed and stuff. Unfortunately, my pay isn't changing, or my hours, but they just wanted to ask me how I'm liking the place and stuff, and I said that I enjoy it, evening work is a little bit hard to get to, so they might change that. Oh, and thank you so much for gifting us up to Bombova Bee. Gang gang. Your brain went to probation officer. But she did say that she really loved my food, and I apologize for the salt situation again. And she said, just don't add salt. We can add salt in our own. And I was like, yeah, I don't think you'll be happy with that either. But it won't happen again. It was just a different salt thing. So do we have everyone who has submitted a game? Also, Jojo, you need. Or did you already message me? Someone already messaged me for a game. Jojo, you need to send me a game for analysis, since you're tier 3 as well.
Doesn't work like that after all.
Well, it won't be today. 17 is talking to me from the other room, and he said, I have loads of games to submit, but he didn't give them to me previously. So, yes, you submit them on Discord, Vulgar Bandit, or anywhere else where I can see them, but you need to be tier 3 if you want them analysed properly. You sent a game. Yes, I have your game, Jim. So I have Jim's, Owen, TJ. So I have a few people. I think Jim was the first one. Hey, the abominable Joe Man. Yesterday I had afternoon off work to go to the dentist, which was fine. Perfect that I have a very big potential bill to consider. I might have to be a less prolific sub. That's no problem. You never have to explain or anything. Oh, that doesn't sound so good. I hope the dentist appointment went well. I hope it wasn't painful. Prioritizing your teeth over Twitch. You should always prioritize your teeth. Speaking about dentist appointments, I wanted to make one as well, but the next available appointment they have is in December and I won't be here, so I'll just see a dentist next year. Just go when you're back in Ireland. But here it's covered by health insurance. In Ireland it's not covered. I was also looking at accommodation in Ireland and I don't know how I'm gonna make it back. I was thinking staying in Europe. I was thinking of commuting from Limerick, but I really don't want to. I don't want to commute because I can come up 2 days a week. Yeah, it is an awful idea, but I don't have to come into work too often, but I also don't want to live in Limerick. So I have to think about it. Maybe some of my friends will want to move out and we can look for things together. Anyways, we're gonna start with game review. Is this for a job or college? It is for a job / graduate program. I'll be studying to be an accountant, but I'll be paid by the firm. I'll also be working. I'm hitting poor scores on puzzle survival again despite my good effort the other day. I think I have to stop and think longer. All the back rank mates at the start. Yeah, I know. At the start it makes you go fast. I think a good thing is to do it with someone else. If any of the other streamers are ever doing puzzle survival, I think that's a good time to do them so that you can have someone else thinking and pausing in the background. Need to calculate accurately to be an accountant. Well, I think we have the computers to do that for us. Tier 3 will be able to get free tax advice once you're done with school. I would love to give people free tax advice, but technically it wouldn't be free if you subscribe Tier 3. Okay, so I've got Jim's game. Are we going to start with that? Are we good to start with that? Jim Hunt. Did you submit a game, Jims? You need to send me one. I don't think you did. It was the one I memorized from the chess. Oh, yes. Is there Darling Swiss tomorrow? I've lost the threads. Oh, yes. I need to talk to you guys about that. I have a big discussion that I need to have with Darlings. And it seems like a lot of Darlings are here, which is good. Also, I haven't seen you in a long time, Chris. So how are you doing? I hope your eye is good. Hopefully it's improving a little bit. In which section of Discord? You can either DM me or you can put it in the chess section. Twitch Unknown, thank you so much for the 8 months. Thank you, I really, really appreciate it. Welcome back to the Darlings. Thank you. 2 gyms is a lot of gyms. 2 gyms is... Well, one is gym and one is gyms. So there's a difference. Okay, then you've got to submit one, gyms. Against my wishes, my daughter got a tattoo of a heart, diamond, club and spade. I'll deal with her later. Oh my goodness, Viking. I thought that it was going to be a nice story. Okay. Anyways, we're starting. We're starting our first analysis. Jojo has just sent his game as well. We're starting with Jim Hunt. Perfect. Please send it in. Just like everyone. 17 might be here listening. So, do you want music off? If it's too distracting. I actually won't be listening to it, so if you guys want it on, I'll keep it on, but I don't hear it. Music is fine. Okay. Hopefully it's not too loud. So, yeah, a little lower is good. Okay, how's that? Is that better? You once played a genius game. Only once. All good? Volume? You missed a brilliant tactic. Ooh, okay. Let's see if we... Actually, oh yeah, never mind. Okay, I'm gonna assume that the volume is okay. Yes, TJ, curly fries. I'm analyzing. We also have 2 TJs now. 2 Jim/S and 2 TJs. I'm analyzing tier 3 game submissions. And one of them, who is Jim Hunt, is the first darling that has submitted a Colley game. Round of applause, please. We need an honorable mention for a Colley player. Round of applause. So, d4, d5, knight f3, perfect. Oh, and now they play g6. Okay. So, we're going to maybe talk about a possible move here. Pick one! Hello, Pick one! How are you doing? Another darling Colley player. I'm just gonna double check theory here. Give me a second. Okay. So, you can just play, I guess, after this. I'm surprised no one has played this. Wait, let me just check something. Okay, yeah. Knight f6, I guess, is the thing. Is a former... Oh, is it against Doc? Time control is 5+3, so I didn't think too much about the opening and just aim for a color setup. Yep, that sounds good. So, e3 is good. Bishop out is good. Knight out is good. And now after knight f6, so whenever you see knight f6, g6, and bishop g7, they want to play c5. So, does anyone want to figure out or guess, or if anyone knows, what is the move here? What should white play? So, this is another kind of Colley mutation. So, I don't know how to call it, but it's just a different, it's, sometimes the Colley changes depending on what your opponent plays, and yes, Captain Ketchup got it. So the move is actually b4, and then you will play c4 as well. So you need to stop c5. That's important, to stop c5. So they're playing, I think this is Grunfeld, what they're playing. And whenever, if they start with knight f6, that's fine, e3, and now when they play g6, you can already play b4 as well. Bishop out, and then c4. And if you can get c5, that would be good. If they take, you just take with the bishop. And yeah, your idea is to just stop c5. So I have actually a few games in this. Maybe we'll look over them at some time when we're gonna study Calais properly. But now you know that b4 is the move. So b3 is also okay, but then once c5 comes in, it's a bit annoying, and you don't want to... I guess you don't want to help them open up this bishop and get their setup. So e3, bishop g7, knight out. Yeah, this is all good. Okay, and now what did you play? b3. Okay, yeah, b3 is b3 is part of the setup. This move is a bit annoying. So what can you do to stop knight b4? Yeah, a3. I think I would play a3 here. And then b3 and then bishop b2. b4 isn't necessarily anymore because the knight blocked c5. c3 is also a move. c3 is the the uncle that comes over for Christmas. But it's not a bad move. c3 is actually maybe the best. Well, okay, I'm not going to say it's the best move because I like playing the Zuckertor, bishop b2. But a3 just stops knight b4. You don't want to deal with that annoying knight. But it actually isn't the end of the world, because after they play knight here, you can just bring your bishop. Ooh, maybe not. Bishop f5 is annoying. Actually, you can't. So I think you actually have to give away the bishop, and you don't want to give away this bishop. That looks more like the London. c3 looks more like the London. I guess, yeah. I guess it does. Yeah, c3 looks more like the London. I also don't think the London is a bad opening. I think it's... Calais is better, but London is also a good option. The bishop is outside the pawn chain, that's true, but also the bishop on b2 can help you with things as well. It protects e5 and your knight is always covered, and if c5 ever comes, you can sometimes also take with the bishop, and this diagonal can be useful. And sometimes your bishop on f4 is not so useful when it goes back to h2 after it's kicked away, or traded on g3. But I'm biased. So he played a6, which is a bit unnecessary, I would say, because you're not threatening to go bishop b5. I think he should have just played knight b4, and you can't really save this bishop. So in most times you can, if you already have this bishop on b2, because then you can play maybe rook c1. Actually, it depends. If they can't bring their bishop out on f5, but in this case they can bring the bishop out on f5. So here, if they play knight b4, it doesn't work to play bishop e2 because they play bishop f5 and you can't cover this square. If you kick the knight, they will still go here and you'll lose the rook. So you can only play bishop e2 if they don't have bishop f5. Which sometimes I guess they have e6, or sometimes they have their bishop on b7 and it doesn't work. Or sometimes you can, if you're already castled. So let's say if they, what did they play? Okay, they played a6 and now bishop b2. Let's say you castle here and then they play knight b4. Here, I think you can still just play bishop e2 because after bishop f5 you can just... Oh, sorry. Yeah. I was thinking you can play c3, but actually this doesn't work because they can just take here. But you can just defend it with knight e1, which is not ideal, but you could keep your bishop. That's what happened. Okay, yeah. So remember a3. a3 to stop knight b4. Okay, Viking. Although you've got to subscribe tier 3 first. But you can keep your game in there. No one's going to stop you from keeping your game. Or maybe if maybe we'll have a clinic someday. So yeah, you can still protect your bishop with knight e2 and then play knight e1 to defend. And actually, it's not so bad. You can kick the bishop and you can still... Maybe you can play f3, e4 and kick this bishop. Except it's a bit uncomfortable and I don't love this position. But thankfully he didn't play knight b4, which is good. So there's different subscription tiers. Tier 1, Tier 2 and Tier 3. If you click on manage your sub or subscribe, you will see the option. Okay, so they castled and you played h3. Were you worried about bishop g4 or knight g4? Oh yeah, on phone, I don't think it works on phone, which is really annoying. You can only do it from PC. So next time you're at your PC, you can subscribe Tier 3. And then that will help us get closer to the sub goal. And then also, you'll get a postcard from South Korea. If you subscribe Tier 3. Yeah, you were worried about that. Well, if bishop... Okay, let's say you play... Well, actually, I'm thinking, can you just play knight e5 here? But it's a bit annoying because they can play knight g4 here, and you usually want to play f4 in this position, but here your e3 pawn is hanging, so you can't do that. So that doesn't work here. So maybe it's not so good to play knight e5. I will say that the Kali against a fianchettoed structure, a fianchettoed position bishop, is not great unless you start you play c4 and attack on the queen side. You don't get the same attack because this bishop is a little bit dead against these pawns. So knight e5 isn't as strong, and yeah, it's a bit annoying. Actually, I don't think h3 is bad. I wouldn't play it because I like playing h3 when I'm maybe preparing g4 in an attack here, but I don't think g4 works so much to accelerate an attack, but it is maybe a safe, not safe, but it just stops something that's annoying. Bishop g4 is annoying. But, sorry. Whenever there's a fianchettoed structure, bishop g4 isn't as annoying because after you play, if you castle, after they play bishop g4, you can just kick the bishop. And they can't go back because the bishop is trapped. So they either will take or they waste a move. So you actually get h3 in for free. So whenever they have a fianchettoed structure, or if you have a fianchettoed structure, bishop g5 and bishop g4 aren't so annoying. Engine said I had no bad moves until the second to last one. Oh, that's annoying. Hey, Amir Khan. When am I leaving? I'm leaving on the 10th of December. So, yeah. So here you can just castle. Castling is fine. And then if they play bishop g4, you can just kick the bishop and you're happy if they take because then you get your knight. You can just take back with the knight and you get your knight back on f3. You don't have to worry about this because you can do what Pick1 said earlier, where you just move your bishop out of the way and then kick the knight. So here, I don't know, let's say they play, what can they even play? I mean, I think after they play c5, you can just take this one. Because if they try and take it back, you can just play a3, b4. And then you defend the pawn. So you just win a pawn. Sometimes you can take this c5 pawn when you can defend it without losing time, since you've already developed all of your pieces. Okay, so what happened in the game? h3. Oh, he played bishop e6. Okay, that is a little bit weird. This pawn should be in front of the bishop, but it's not. It's behind it, and now this bishop looks a little bit awkward here. What did you play? Okay, castled. Maybe a3 is actually, again, a good move, because he's still threatening to play knight b4 and then bishop f5. Q Whiskey! Thank you so much for the raid! Hello everyone. Hey Alpoca. How was your stream? I hope you had a great stream. We are analyzing tier 3 games. Welcome everyone. I hope you had fun. I'm just going to... Thank you for giving a shout out to Kiwiski. I'm just going to quickly grab some water. Sorry, one sec. Big raid. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for 9,100. Thank you so much, darlings. Well, sorry. Thank you so much, everyone who is now a darling. Hey, C. Bornell. I'm good. How are you? Okay, so yeah, so maybe a3 is good here because, yeah, you don't want to allow knight here, and then bishop f5 again, and now you can't play rook c1 because you lose the a2 pawn, and then they just go back to b4, and you can play c3 or c4, but it will get annoying. a3 will not be necessary. Now they can play bishop here and then knight d3. Maybe actually they can just play bishop. Actually, knight d3 doesn't work here because you'll take this, but if you go somewhere else, then they can play it and you lose an exchange. Once you see his next move, oh no, okay, let's see what he did. Okay, so up until here, a3, okay, knight a7. Genius! Genius maneuvering. Yeah, well, at least you didn't have to waste your time with a3. That's good. So knight e5, great move. I really like that move. Kale Spirit. He's not exactly threatening to take your knight. Actually, here I would play g4. Here I would just kick the knight. I'll get an extra attacking move and then I'll play f4 and then I want to play f5. Made me waste time thinking what the... Yeah, knight a7 is weird. Well, I assume he wanted to play c5 because it is... the c-pawn should be in front of the knight. It always looks weird when the knight is on c3 or c6 and the pawn is on c7. So I imagine that that's what the knight wanted to do. Yeah, the knights are both on the edges, that's true. White, sorry. Black likes moving their knights on the edges for some reason. So, well, since he moved knight a7 here, maybe he should have just played c5. That would make a lot more sense. And then maybe you can play f4. And then rook c8 to try to just bring the rook to the semi-open file. I would go for g4 here. But he actually helped you even more. So here, after knight h5, did you consider g4? Or did you think it was a bit vulnerable? He's normally a better player than that. Oh, maybe he underestimated you. Not yet, okay. If you get it with tempo, it's good, because then you can play f4 next, and it would be good here. And your king is not that vulnerable because there's not an attack on it, and there's no open files or anything like that. If anything, you can actually use the g file for your rook. Time control was 5 + 3. So you played knight f3. I actually think that this is a good move. To me, I prefer having the knight behind the f pawn, but here you're also threatening knight g5, I guess. I just like playing f4 before I bring the knight in, but I think that's also maybe personal preference. c6! What is this? What is he defending? You're getting lower on time. I wanted to throw pieces into the mix. Yeah, I mean, no, this is definitely a good move. Hello, thank you for the follow. Hi, Nosy. So, yeah, excellent. I really like this move. That's brilliant. He went back. It's time! It's time for a sacrifice. Who can find the best move in this position? I had a game similar to this before. This is a very Kale-esque sacrifice. What's the best move in this position? Who can find it? It is very beautiful. Because it's the Kale! You try knight g5 to e7? To f7, you mean? To e6. Knight e6 here? And what's your plan if they take it? Sack the bishop on g6. So you want to have a follow-up, I guess. So if you're looking for sacrifices, I guess there should be a reason. Well, obviously there should be a reason for it. But so usually with sacrifices, you're either opening up a diagonal or a file, or you're maybe making a certain square more vulnerable. Here, if you take on g6, I guess you would want to be able to take another 2 times maybe, or after they take here, you have another capture, but after they take back, you don't really have much follow-up. I guess you would open up the F, sorry, not the F file. You would open up the A2 to G8 diagonal, but you don't have a bishop on this diagonal, so you want to open up a diagonal. And where is your Kale bishop? So here you played G4, which is also a great move. I like G4. You first take on H7 and then on G6. Okay, so what's your idea? If you take on H7 and after the king takes, what can you do? So, this is also really good. And then you take on H5. So this works, But it's even more spectacular than that. So this is also a very thematic Kale sacrifice. Yes, Daniel, what is it? What's the move? Sometimes you can change around move orders when you're looking at tactics. Okay, so after queen takes, what do you do after the pawn takes? What's the next move? Yeah, bishop takes h7, and now after the king goes to h8. Your sign. Okay, thank you, TJ. Yes. So let's look at it. Queen takes. It's annoying because it's actually not checkmate. So pawn takes, bishop takes, and you fork the queen. Yeah, you win the queen back, so you win some material. I think how much you win? So you win a lot of pawns, don't you? So they have to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, you win 2 pawns. But of course, oh wait. Sorry. You also get the exchange. You get the exchange as well. You get the exchange. I forgot. Yeah, and an exchange. But okay, that is very difficult. That's very difficult. Okay, let me see. Okay, the eval bar. Okay, the eval bar agrees. So, yeah, the computer agrees, but actually knight takes h7 is not so different. So it goes from 3.42 to 2.66. They don't have to give up the exchange. They do because it's all forcing. Otherwise, it's checkmate.
Checkmate.
So, let me go back. So after knight g5, brilliant move. They brought their bishop back. I think this move, knight takes h7, is definitely doable because it's a 2-move tactic. This one is a bit more difficult, but it's all forcing at least. So queen takes, but it's very hard to look at a queen sacrifice. So you take the pawn with check. They only have 1 move. They can't take the bishop as defended. And now you take on f7. It's important to take with the e knight because the g knight is protecting the bishop. And if you take this way, then they don't have to sacrifice the exchange. But because you take with the e knight, the king can't go anywhere. So they have to sacrifice the exchange, and now they take and you win material. If you look down this line, you will definitely see it because there's very few legal moves. But it's definitely not easy. It's not easy to look at queen takes h5. That's why can black trap the knight. Okay, let's try to figure it out, and then I'm gonna turn on the engine just to make sure. But since when we put it on a second ago, it was the best line, so I don't think so. Okay, they can take maybe here and then take the knight. So they can win another pawn. But I guess they can't protect f7. If they could protect f7, then the knight would be trapped. So I think this is probably their best try. Oh, that's a good idea. Okay, let me see. So if they go king... Ooh, that's a really nice idea. That's a really nice idea. Let's see. So now they're just threatening to play... Oh no, because then you take here. So actually they can't move their bishop. So we need to figure out a way to save our knight in a few moves. So if we can protect this square, then that would be good. So maybe we can play f4 and f5, and now we can bring the knight out. Is the queen h5 a common idea? It happens sometimes. It's happened to me. Queen h5 has only happened to me once, but knight takes h7 has happened a lot. So if knight takes h7, sometimes you can do it the other way around, which is what happened in my game before. But your bishop on d3 always has, I guess, the threat of bishop h7, so you always want to look for those kinds of tactics. You need the perfect conditions, of course, but it does come up. What is e6 after f4? Oh, sorry. Good move. That's a nice suggestion. e6 does not work. Okay, why doesn't it work? White plays f5, but then they can just take it. Because you have... But maybe you can actually get your rook in and counterattack this way, but maybe then they can play h4. So maybe not. Maybe not rook f3. Okay, okay, maybe we can figure it out. But I definitely don't think that the knight is trapped. Wait, you can also just play bishop here. Wait! There's bishop f6. So actually king g8. King g8 right now. Oh, sorry. No, king g8. Sorry. Oh, yeah. After you play e6, you're actually threatening bishop f6. So f4 and then e6, that's a really nice move. e6 is actually not only stopping f5, but it's also threatening bishop f6. Wait, I'm turning... I'm going to turn the engine on. Let me just double check this. Okay, it's still winning. Still winning because white has... Does anyone want to take a guess what the best move here is? This is a weird move. I don't think I would play this. Oh, but they do mention rook f3 is also good, but... I actually didn't see bishop f6 when I looked at f3. And after this, then you can actually just give a check, and then you can play bishop a3. And then rook g8. Okay, I didn't see bishop f6. But after this move... Okay, the computer is being weird. Taking one of the pawns with the knight. I guess you can't... I think if you give up the knight back, it's still good, really good for white. But they suggest any other suggestions before I give it away? What is white's best move here? Who can find it? Oh, g4 is a nice move. Oh, but g4, sorry. Bishop f6 is the threat. It's still good. It's still good, but you don't save your... Actually, maybe you don't save your knight at all, actually. The move that they suggest, you don't save your knight. It's a very weird move. I don't actually understand the idea behind it. They suggest e4. And after bishop f6... Oh, okay. This is a nice idea, but it's a bit kind of very complicated. Well, I won't say very complicated, but it's. Oh, you did get it right. Sorry, I didn't see you pick one. Sorry, I didn't see your message. Pinfork, thank you for the raid. 2 raids already. How was your stream? Thank you so much. Welcome, Pinforks. We are analyzing games. Shout out to Pinfork. So here, this is really, really nice, but anyone want to give it a go? Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Thank you. Oh, you're a darling. So, it's Pinfork with a 0 instead of an O. Yes, Mojo Jojo, well done. That's a really nice idea. That's a beautiful idea. So, you take the pawn, and after the bishop takes, now you play e5. The bishop has to go somewhere. Then you play f5, and these pawns are so strong. Or maybe if they... It doesn't really matter where the bishop goes. e6 is still coming. f6. Oh my god. f7, you win the piece back, but probably these pawns are even stronger. Oh wait, you don't lose both pawns, so you can just take with the rook. Or with the pawn. Oh, and your bishop. Oh my god. This is really, really strong. Oh my goodness, that's really, really nice. That's so beautiful. That's not easy to see. e4 is such a random move. Not random, but it's like... Okay, what if they just take the pawn? So now they suggest rook a1. Okay. Okay, this is a bit complicated, but... I didn't see they go that far. The pawns go very far, I guess, yeah. They also get help from these two bishops, but... The idea to sacrifice the pawn is that you'll get it back, and then e6 is going to be weak, and then you'll take on e6 as well, I guess. But after this? Well, after this you take here, apparently. And then if they take here, you play f5. Okay, and you're threatening this. This is now computer stuff. So... 2 connected pawns back to with rooks, yeah, insane. But that's kind of difficult, so... I think I would also not see that. I'm going to take off the engine. Yeah. Okay. That's really crazy. So I think Queen H5 is definitely doable without I guess you don't need an engine to see this because it is a forcing move and you need to look at checks, captures, and threats. It's just like a puzzle. But knight takes h7 is definitely more obvious because there's a pin. And this happens a lot more often. But queen sacrifices don't happen as often because you don't get the perfect... It's rare that you get the... Sorry, you have to take with the e-knight. You don't get the perfect piece placement. And also... Yeah. I was going to say that with knight takes h7, you just need the knight. Bishop is always on d3, so you just need the knight on g5 really, and the queen is always on d1 for this to work. And I guess you need their knight on h5. So often... Not often, but sometimes the pawn is on h5 and the king is on h7, and you can take the pawn for free because of the pin. So that also happens sometimes. But in this case, it's just a bit longer of a tactic. But not impossible. Anyway, that was all just a side calculation. So we're going back to the game. So back to the game. Jim played g4, which is still actually... sorry, I still really like this move. It's just that you don't have the same tactics anymore. But I like g4, and now you're threatening f4, f5. So they brought the knight back. And now he played f4. Oh, question exclam. Why does that get a question exclam? I would play f4 here as well. Let me see. What is the engine not approving of? There's probably better moves. I mean, that's actually weird because it's suggesting c4 and then the second move is f4. So it should just get no... The difference is 0.2. Not really a big difference. I would also play f4. c4, I guess, is a nice move. Just in general, c4 is always going to be a decent move. Even in the second move, after you play d4, c4 is the best move. So even in the Kale, c4 is always going to be a good move. Oh, the question exclam notations don't bother me. They bother me because I think it confuses some people because it's called an inaccuracy, isn't it? Or what is it? What is the definition of this? It's not dubious. Strange move? Yeah, inaccuracy. I don't think f4 is inaccurate though. So it annoys me because I don't think that gets... Because earlier... Wait, sorry. I know I'm going on about this a lot. But I think, for example, here b3 is an inaccuracy, but you don't get that. So here you don't want to allow knight b4. But in this case, f4, there's no problem with it. But anyways, computer will be a computer. And I'm turning it off now because it's annoying. Okay, f4. For us mere mortals, yeah. Unless you miss a tactic. Like earlier, queen h5, maybe that's inaccurate to play g4. That makes sense. But in this case, I don't think 0.2 of a thing. Yeah, why didn't they give you an accuracy for g4? That's weird. They didn't give you an inaccuracy for g4. Okay, so they played queen b6. They're not threatening anything, so that's fine. And now you played queen e2. Again, inaccuracy. Why is this bad? They changed the definition a year ago. Okay. We're going to cheat a little bit. Queen e2 is not good. The best move here again is c4. Oh, okay. Or they suggest f5 or queen e1, which I think queen e1 is a little bit hard to see because it's not a natural move to move your queen to e1, but this diagonal does make sense. If you want to get your queen to the h-file, this is the only way to do that. So queen e1 makes sense as a plan, and f5 also makes sense. Actually, I think maybe with f5, sometimes you can take here, but actually I don't think that works. If they kick you, I thought that you could take here. But actually, they don't really like that much. Which makes sense because you kind of give away your two most attacking pieces for the rook on f8, which isn't doing anything. Except for defending. Oh, your plans don't fly. Yeah. It's always difficult. It's always difficult. And analyzing... You're worried about d3. Yeah, that's definitely understandable. I'm also always worried about that pawn in the color. It is a backwards and weak pawn. But there's no way they can attack it. So they can't get to it. The bishop also can't get to it. So you're all good. But okay, the queen came on this diagonal, so I can see how it's a bit vulnerable maybe looking. Yeah, that's true. Like, I guess their plan is maybe to play c5 and open up this diagonal. Okay, they played bishop e6. Here I'm so tempted to play f5 and kick that bishop away. Did you do that? Yes! Excellent move. I really like that move. Kick that bishop away. And we get a free move out of it. Bishop back. Okay, yeah. Now you get your rook in, which is really nice, and maybe you will have some tactics along this. Oh, okay. Wait a second. So, since you have g5 after you move this knight, maybe you can take this pawn already. Because if the rook takes, now you can take, and now you can take this with check. They can't take with the king, so they're going to have a pin, and now you can maybe play g4. And then you can take the knight. But it's a bit, okay, I just noticed this pawn is also hanging. Okay, now we're getting into a lot of tactical things. So what do you take, this or this? Oh, sorry. You're losing the queen, so you kind of have to take this one. Okay, now they can take back with the pawn or the bishop. But your queen and bishop are looking really good here. Black has a lot of weaknesses. And you're... Wait, you're actually not up in material. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, you're actually down a pawn? Ooh, I don't know if this is good. Let me put on... Ooh! Okay, +6. +6. Looks like you're just completely winning here. The black king is just so weak, and yeah, they're suggesting queen g4 here, which makes a lot of sense. They can't defend this. I guess if they push, you just take it. They can't defend the pawn, so that looks really good for you. Okay, so let me just double check this line. So to see if I didn't miss anything. So after they move back, again they want c4. Okay, now they're changing their mind. Yeah, they're saying that f takes is also the second best, but almost the same. 3.7 versus 2.6. Wait, so if they take here, they want you to take here first. Attacking the rook. And after the rook, wait. Oh, now you have knight g6. Okay, and then you can take that with check. So they should take it. No, they're suggesting taking with the bishop. Okay, now we're getting into computer stuff, because g5, and if the knight moves, now you've got bishop here, and then you've got here, and then you've got this, and then you've got... Who can find the mate? Mate in 1. Hello, Emma. Thanks for the follow. Yes, that moral guy. Knight takes e7. The c4 jokes, you mean explosives or what? No, you lost 100 elo! Oh no! No, in what? Time control. Don't worry, you'll get it back. You'll get it back. Queen h8. Wait, sorry. If the bishop doesn't want to take you and he he forgets how the bishop moves. First I was up 50 elo and hit my peak! Then I decided chess was too hard and it's time to go back to an easier level. So what did you do? How did you go back to an easier level? We're also kind of losing. Sorry, I'm losing my train of not train of thought, but I don't want to get too distracted from analyzing this game. Missed that. How to migrate. That's okay. You don't need to have an excuse for missing things. You can also just miss things. Okay, let me go back. Well, you got an excellent move though. F5 is an excellent move. There's an exclam on it, but I don't know why it's not showing up, but it's showing up on the engine here. So, excellent move. Now they take. Oh, I think decided was ironically suggesting a degree of choice that was... Oh, right. Okay. You know, I think sometimes I don't have a social cue or something, or I don't know what you call it, but I don't understand jokes, or I don't get some jokes, and sometimes I take people too literally, because that's what happened today. I was watching Arcane with a friend, and they said something which I didn't think was a joke. So wait, what happened? Wait, sorry, let me just remember the exact thing. And this happens to me often, and then I'm wondering if I got something. But it happens to me too often, I think. Wait, let me just think. And sometimes I get really awkward and nervous, and not nervous, but I get awkward and I feel bad, and then I don't know what to do, and I want to laugh at their joke, but then it's obvious that I'm just laughing for the sake of laughing, and I don't want them to feel bad that it's a bad joke. But it's just me. Wait, let me just tell you. Oh yeah, it happened to Phil as well in the chat. Wait, let me tell you exactly what happened. Oh yeah. Has anyone here watched Arcane yet? Second season. The rest of the episodes are coming out tomorrow, to remind you. But if you haven't watched it, you definitely should watch it. But there's a new character, and she has a Scottish accent. And let my friend was like, oh, I really like her. And I said, the Scottish one. And then he said, oh, yeah, I didn't realize she was Scottish. And then she said something. And then I repeated it in my attempt to do a Scottish accent. She's like, oh, yeah. And then she said, I can't see accents. And I was like, oh, I guess it's hard to see, I guess it's hard to tell if you don't have a side-by-side comparison, and that if you're not surrounded by English speakers a lot because they're German. And then she looked at me, she was like, I meant like, I don't see color, I don't see accents. I was trying to make a joke and I was like, whoa! Okay. And I was like, oh, haha. And I felt really bad. So, yeah, I have no social cue. I don't have... If you make a joke and I don't laugh, it's because it's me. I'm the problem. Not you. You're funny. You're always funny. So if a joke is not funny, it's because I didn't get it. Which means you're not funny also. But, yeah. Okay. But I actually did get another joke. You can't say, that's okay, Goku. That's all good. Thank you. Thanks for coming in to say hi. And goodbye. It could be a bad joke. Yeah, that's true as well. Can I check? Yes, I will check. Actually, I think I already checked. Knee surgery is tomorrow. You have knee surgery. What are you getting done? I will be having knee surgery as well soon. Knee surgery buddies. You're fine. It's easy to miss jokes on stream, especially there's a lot that you're trying to juggle and pay attention to. Okay, on stream I just blame the darlings and the chat, but this was in person. And when someone is also known as being funny usually, then you know that it's you or your sense of humor. But I think maybe it was. But I felt really bad anyway. It was also maybe, not language barrier, but I think that I assumed that she said, sometimes it's bad delivery. Yeah. Maybe. Although I think this was me. Because when she said I can't see accents, I thought maybe I can't hear accents, so I just took that as she was saying, she used the wrong word, but obviously her English is good enough. How does she not see accents? It was a joke! Like she doesn't see color. We're at 48. Yeah, that's true. We're at 48. 2 more. Make Minimundo happy. Just create another account to sub tier 3! Called out! So if you haven't subscribed yet, become a darling. And if you want a postcard sent from South Korea, you can subscribe to tier 3. Have fun rest of the stream and thanks for your chess explanations. See you, Jojo. I will analyze your game next time you're in. Okay, so let me just continue. Sorry, let me finish this game. I'm so sorry for getting sidetracked a lot. Okay, so you took and then you played rook f4 and the bar cried a little bit. No problem, Jojo. Have a great rest of the day and have a great weekend. Okay, so I guess how can you go for this pawn? Sorry, how can you bring your queen to the h file and attack the h7 pawn? And threaten checkmate? Yeah, queen... Sorry, not queen h2. You want to get to h4. Not rook f2. Your pawn is in the way if you try to do this. Yeah, queen f2, queen h4. So if you play queen f2, which I think is kind of not really an intuitive move because you don't want to go on the same file as the rook, but if they just move the knight and attack your queen, you can just play queen h4 and you're threatening checkmate. And if they push the pawn, you actually have so many pieces controlling h7 that you can actually lose this knight. Oh, you're thinking of pushing. Yeah, that also makes sense. Pushing also makes sense. But if there's a shorter route, so here you can also just take this pawn. Sorry, not yet. Obviously, not yet. Sorry, you actually have the same mate. Computer is here to save me. What mate do you have? Where's mate? Awake, darlings! Thank you. Knight takes e7. Knight takes e7, mate. So your rook is controlling the f7 square and your queen is controlling the h file. So let me go back. Yeah, so queen f2 would be good. So rook f4, I guess your idea was to double up, was it? Which also makes sense. Well, okay, it makes sense because it's an open file, you want to double up on open files, but also you don't really want to take this knight, I guess. But if you go queen f2, queen h4, then you can just sacrifice your rook for it, because the knight is protecting h7, so you can take with the queen. Okay, so you doubled, okay. They took. You took with bishop, okay. Oh, and now you want to push the pawn. Ooh, and now the bar is slowly decreasing. So here, I think, okay, so first, this is the move that they suggest. They suggest rook f2. Your ears! Hey, Beetolga! Beetolga, I need you to vote on a poster that you would like. And also you have to give me your address because you're gonna get a darling poster for subscribing tier 3. So queen f2 is suggested, and also, yes, really. So you can, I think the pictures are still there, but the poll is closed, but you can, I decided that I'm actually just going to send the postcard that everyone wants, because I want everyone to be happy, even though it shouldn't be everyone getting the same one, but also I want one without a border, so I'm really doing this for myself. Wait, where is it? It's in suggestions, is it? Oh yeah, it's in suggestions. So if you go into Discord and then you look at suggestions, you will see the 3 poster designs, and you can choose if you want a border, no border, and what color border, green or black. And your name is on it. So you've got to send me your address, and Frank also has to send me his address. So whenever I see Frank, I will also let him know. Oh, okay. Okay, it's banned. Wait, let me show you on stream 1 second. I'll bring it up now. Let's give it on the board. Okay, 1 second. Okay, can you see it? You can't see it fully though. Okay. So, here is the poster that all the tier 3 darlings get. This is without a border. So, here's your name over there, Beetolga. So, this is with a border. This is with a green border. Which the majority actually like. So this is with a green border, and then this is with a black border. So do you want black border, green border, or no border? I'll show you again. Green border. Okay, so this is the one that you want sent. Not no border. Not black border. You want a green border. Okay. Okay. So you've got to send me your address. So you can send me your address in Whisper here if you don't have Discord. Okay. Great. Thank you for your support last month and helping us get to 100+ points. Let me go back to game analysis. I'm sorry, Jim, for being all over the place. Okay, so yeah, I guess rook f5. Rook f4 and doubling is a little bit. It doesn't give you so much progress, I guess, which is a little bit. Well, it's a little bit. What was I going to say? I lost my train of thought. So. Doubling up, it doesn't really, you want to focus on this h7 square or maybe trying to create everything because actually all of your pieces are facing there, but the knight on f6 maybe isn't your priority here. So you want to try get your queen in. Actually, that's the biggest thing that's missing is your queen is out of the action. You want to try get your queen, and this is the only route for the queen. And if you play h4, you're also then leaving the g4 pawn vulnerable as well. So, why don't they like it? It's weird because h4 doesn't look that bad to me. Doesn't look that bad, but it stops the route for the queen, which I think is the biggest problem, and it takes a lot longer to create something because you need to take and then you need to play here, and maybe it gives them a chance because here they're suggesting knight c6 and they play knight b5, but they're suggesting knight c6, which is threatening to take this pawn or take the bishop, and you can't defend both. Okay, that's really annoying. That's the big problem. Okay, it's actually just a tactical thing. Knight c6 just allows for... Yeah. This move. Sorry, yeah. Sorry. h4 allows for knight c6, which will trade... Actually, do you have to take here? They're suggesting knight from... They're suggesting defending that way? Okay, that's a bit weird. Okay, this is just the computer doing its thing, because this looks so good to me. This looks really good, but now they're saying bishop h3 and why it's like just 0.5. Oh no, mods be ready. I don't know. I don't know if it's okay. I haven't seen you in chat before. Some illegal activities have been organized in there. Oh no. Yeah, you can do it in any app. That's weird. Wait, darlings! Someone just subscribed. We're on 54. Someone just subscribed tier 3. You're a lurker. Well, you should chat in here more often before you send links. Oh, you're just sending your that Maro guy. I just noticed the number went up. That Moral guy. Thank you so much for the tier 3. Thank you so much. We're on 54. We're on 54. Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So you've got to send me your address as well. You'll be getting a postcard from Korea. We're on 54, darling! We're more than halfway there. Thank you so much. Okay. Back we go. Through the Darlings channel? Well, you can post it, you can just whisper me here. You can just send me a message on Twitch or on private chat. Because you don't want to be sending your address to everyone. Yeah, it's a Twitch thing, that's genuine, I know. But it's also maybe some self-promotion, which... we respect the hustle, but also maybe isn't great. Everybody can send me postcards. I mean, if you're comfortable sending your address, I won't exactly stop you, but also I wouldn't recommend it. But sure, go for it. Okay. Going back, Jim, please don't hate me. Okay, so you moved your bishop. Oh, sorry. He played knight b5 and then you moved your bishop back, which makes sense. He developed his bishop again for the 10th time. He developed his bishop, and now you played h5. Great, you're doing really well. You actually got what you wanted. So he just didn't play knight c6, which was a tactical thing. So actually h4, h5 isn't a bad idea. I thought it was because you can't bring your queen to f2, but it was just a tactical reason. Can we send you brown envelopes? I will just send you them with envelopes and everything. You don't need to send me anything. You've already paid for the envelopes through your tier 3. I just wanted the points. Do you know what this is like? This is like, you know in Harry Potter when someone gets, they win some raffle or something and they didn't want anything but the date with Ron. And they gave I think it was the girl that was obsessed with Ron, or I can't remember what it was. Is it Harry Potter or am I thinking about the wrong thing? Because there's a show it's actually, this happened before. It's like also Unfabulous, where she gets a lunchbox and everyone wants what's inside the lunchbox, but she just wants the lunchbox. And she throws everything away, even though it's more valuable what's inside. So that's same with me, is that you can subscribe, but I just want the points. Oh, for more arenas. Oh, sorry. I thought you meant send me a brown envelope so that I can send you the poster in the envelope. Send an already stamped one. Sure, I'll accept a bribe. Depends what the bribe is for. No replies to your postcard. Well, I don't have a PO box. But I'm not gonna give out my address unless you're a close friend. I don't want to have any bad experiences and stalkers. So I don't think I can send give you my address. So you buy a great bed for the cat and the cat just plays with the box. I've heard that before. That's a thing, isn't it? I actually watched a video the other day about someone talking about how they bought a cat bed and the cat just wanted the box that the bed came in. So then I can give you my reply here. You can give me your reply. Well, you haven't got the postcard and poster yet. Well, postcard, assuming that you'll subscribe this coming month. Beetolga, thank you for gifting 5 subs. Thank you, I really appreciate it. Bad bed bud. Thank you, I really appreciate it. Welcome, new darlings. Chesrop, Christomir, Eric from Mars. We already had C4 is a good idea and I'll accept a bribe, so maybe keeping your address private is also a good idea to avoid the authorities. Yeah, I think we have said a lot of things. I also threaten to kill the darlings a lot of the time. We haven't had a sub battle. What's with the banana? It was the Halloween costume. And then I decided to keep it because it's so cute. Look at the Halloween costume. Look at the banana costume. I still have it. I didn't return it. I was planning to return it, but then I thought, it might be cute to just keep the costume. So, H5, I really like it. You're doing really well. So they took the pawn, and now, you went for a sacrifice. Okay, and then Jin doesn't like this. So, okay, let me just see something. I guess you missed the night. See you, Beetolga. Thanks so much for coming in. And thank you so much for the gifted subs. Miscalculation being low on time. Yeah, that makes sense. But also, I see that he played King H8! And you got a mate! So, Kale is a success. Even if the calculation isn't precise, it's a success. And you actually should have won the game anyway. But yeah, they also missed the knight, which is a bit weird because your knight on f6 is always controlling h7. Sorry, what am I doing? So knight takes. I guess it's not enough material because he can trade. Okay, so he can trade a bunch of pieces and you don't have enough pieces on the... Oh, sorry, also this is hanging as well. So bishop takes e5. So you can't take like that. So you have to take with the pawn. You're closing up your rook and now you don't have enough pieces to attack with. He also remarked that he also remarked that he was surprised only 6 pawns were taken the whole game. Yeah, I guess it's not in E4 openings. A lot of not a lot, but more pawns are traded. But that's true. I guess in the Kale, usually you keep your pawns. Yeah, that's actually true. Unless they play c5, because usually c5, c takes d4 happens a lot, and you don't have c4 takes on d5, which also happens a lot in d4 openings. So I don't know if I ever thought about that the Kale doesn't exchange many pawns, but it happens. Yeah, it happens in the Kale. Asaid, thanks for the follow. Brilliant game though, Jim. A lot of beautiful tactics, really nice ideas, and I think that was a very instructive Kale game. So we're putting it in the Darlings Kale Bank, and we're going to use it as instructive one day when I have my own Kale Chessable course. You heard it here first. Maybe it will be featured. So if anyone ever plays a Kale, submit the games and you might be featured in a Kale Chessable course. Okay, next game. Who's up next? I think we have TJ, who also sent in some analysis. So actually that is a really good you didn't really suggest it, but you're helping suggest it, kind of. If you want to, if you're submitting a game and you want to get more out of it, it's also good to, if you can write in your ideas, and then I can see what your thought process is like and see if it's if it can be improved or something. So or if you remember your ideas as well and thought processes, you can just write them in the chat as we go. That would be good too, if you want. Of course, I'm not forcing you to do that. It's a little bit more work, but I think you'll get more out of it. That's what I usually ask my students when they're playing over the board, mainly when they're playing classical games, because that's when you have the most time to think. See if it's a lot of politics or not. Well, you're also playing online, so I don't expect. Not that I don't expect too much from you, but I also don't expect much from me as well. So online chess doesn't really allow you to think that deeply. Where do we send the games? You can send them in the chess Discord. Okay. Let's go. Are we ready for the second analysis of the day? I think I'm just going to do one more and then I'm going to play some viewers because I'm getting distracted during them and then I'm spending a lot of time on it and I don't think it's fully constructive. So I'm going to try focus on the game mostly and then we can also play. You should create a P.O. box for our over-the-board scorecards. You would give them away. You need to keep them. Keep them. I've thrown a lot of mine out as well, but sometimes I keep them. Sometimes I throw them in different places. And I actually have a TikTok that I wanted to post. A funny one where I actually have score sheets where you have them everywhere. All over the house. That's how you know you're a chess player. If you have random sheets of paper with moves on. If anyone who's not a chess player would see our house, not our house, but our houses, like all chess players' houses, they would really be confused seeing like these random sheets with moves written on them. See you, Jim. Enjoy your dinner. And thanks for submitting a game. And well done in the Kale game. And thanks for playing the Kale also. And for giving it the Love it deserves. Well, I can also show you my bin. When I throw any paper out or score sheets, I always rip them up, so I can't really show you a full one, but I do throw some of them away. And sometimes I want to keep them, but then I throw them. Well, actually, I will say my train of thought because... So, I used to have, I hope I still do, I'm not sure I do, but I used to have a notebook with all my games. And after I finished the game, I was like obsessed with like having everything perfect. Still sometimes I am, but okay, with score sheets I don't care so much anymore. But when I first played tournaments and started writing down my moves, I would be so worried that I would not write them down really neatly. So what I would do is I would rewrite my games just so that they would be perfectly, just really nicely written. Woo! Chaotic Chess! Thank you so much for the sub! Thank you, I really appreciate it. We're at 55! We're at 55 darlings! Yay! Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Welcome to the darlings! Gang gang. So I would play the games, then write them down in a notebook and keep them neat. And then I started to not really care how they looked. And then once I started like playing so much chess, I obviously didn't keep all of my score sheets. But I thought that since I threw away some of them, I couldn't keep the other ones because I already threw away some, and then that would be bad because if I throw away some of them, why should I keep the others? And it wouldn't be fair on the ones that I threw away, and I was thinking too much about it, and now I regret that I threw away a lot of score sheets because of my mind making me feel bad for the ones that I threw away. Oh my goodness! Chaotic Chess! What? Wait a second. Chaotic Chess. This account was just made 3 hours ago. Someone... Thank you. Who is this? Is this... No, I don't think this is 17. This is definitely not 17. Hello. You've been lurking. Wait. Surely you didn't make an account just to subscribe tier 3. You wanted a chess Twitch account. Who is this? Thank you so much for the tier 3. I assume it's twice. Tier 3 twice. Thank you so much. Yeah, you can watch without... We're on 61. You can watch without an account. You just can't chat. Thank you so much. Whoever it is. Whoever wanted to make themselves a chess account and become maybe a chess streamer. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for your support. Anyways, we're going to begin. I'm so grateful for our progress. We're on 61. I can't believe it. And there's so many days left. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get to 3 consecutive months of 100. That's insane. That's really crazy. Thank you so much. Okay, so we're gonna start. I'm going to try not to get distracted too much. So if I ignore you for a little bit, I will try not to ignore you, and please bring me back to the game because I get very easily distracted and go on tangents. So I don't want to keep, keep swapping and switching and changing. Wait, who saw Arcane and then heard Heimerdinger say, He said something. Oh, pish posh! He said pish posh, and I thought that was really cute, and I wanted to use that. Yeah, I like this, exactly. Anyways, let's go. Once I start, I can't stop. So let's begin. E4. We've got E4 on the board. And TJ played E5. So we've got a king's pawn opening, I guess we'll say. We don't know yet what it is. Knight C6. Wait, don't you usually... Maybe you're not a Caro... Are you not a Caro-Kann player? Do you not usually play Caro-Kann? You are a Caro... Oh, but you wanted to switch things up. You started trying E5. Someone else also wants to change from Caro-Kann, so you're not the only one changing. I'm wondering if there is some some big streamer or something that is encouraging E5. So bishop out. Okay, we've got an Italian. Bishop out. Oh, nothing. Okay. Yeah, I think E5 is definitely... Well, I think Sicilian is probably the best way to go, but if I didn't play Sicilian, I would play E5. So I think that E5 is an easier Sicilian. Okay, so they played D3. Knight out. And then they brought their knight out. Okay, this is definitely totally fine for you. As white, if you're playing this, you want to play with C3 just to have less symmetry on the board. Too much symmetry is too equal. So it's good to play C3 and have a little bit of difference in pawn structure. And then you can also threaten D4 as well. So you want to try to play D4, and then when they take, you want to have both of your pawns in the center. So knight out, now it's going to be more difficult to play D4, and when you do play D4, it's not going to be with two pawns in the center, and then it will be very symmetrical, because they can also play D5. So D6, and now we have perfectly symmetrical position. Yeah, white has more options with C3. You also have B4 ideas as well. Mostly it's just a different opening. Okay, now they played bishop E3. I don't know how familiar you are with this opening, but so far you're playing perfectly. So you should definitely take that bishop. Sometimes these pawns are useful, but right now the king is still not castled, and... Well, if you wanted to play D4 with taking, then C3 would have been a better way to do that. Okay, now you castled. Okay, so white hasn't played A3 or A4 yet. I think maybe here you can play knight to A5. Both are good. Actually, yeah, both are good. Let me just look at the opening explorer. Okay, so this has been played before a few times, not many times. And the most played move is knight A5. And then also bishop E6 and castles have the same amount of games. So knight A5 is always going to be a move that you should consider, just because this bishop is probably white's strongest piece. It's like the D3 bishop in the Colle. So if you can play knight A5, then they play bishop B3, and here you can take it, or you can also leave it there, because they can't go anywhere with it. But the A file isn't as threatening, I guess, as the H file. And the bishop pair, sorry, you don't have the bishop pair, but you have a bishop. and they don't have one anymore. So that would count for something. Magalia, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. There's a few moves of that style in the Vino too. Oh yeah, I always forget those knights on the removes because it's drilled into... I know, that's true. But always if there's a bishop on f4 or c4, you've always got knight h5 or knight a5. When I was younger, that used to be my favorite move. And whenever I used to analyze games with my dad a lot, so every night we would put a game. That was actually my biggest chess training growing up. Every night I wasn't allowed to sleep until we analyzed a game on the board from New in Chess book or any other book, whatever book he had, but usually it was a New in Chess book. And he would make me choose the game, and I would always try and choose the shortest one. And the way that the games are written, sometimes there's variations, which are like when books have moves in brackets. I know I'm going on a bit of a tangent. I'll just say... Actually, it doesn't really matter, I guess. But anyway, I would always choose the shortest one, but I would be scammed because the ones with the variations, if we don't put the variations, are actually shorter. Because the bold moves are what you should look at, and sometimes I would choose bold moves that had a lot of moves. But it would look like it's shorter on the page, so I figured that out after a few... I don't know if it was a few years, but... No, it was definitely not a few years, but after a few months. But sometimes we put the variations, so it actually wasn't the case. Anyways, I saw those moves a lot when I was younger, so they used to be my favorite moves, and then when they would come up in the analysis of my game, in the analysis of other games that we would review, he would always, my dad would try to encourage me to find the move, so he would be like, your move is up, and then that's how I would know that it's knight a5 or knight h5. So, they're the Mersey move, and sometimes I would play them too much even in times that it wasn't good. Is he a strong player? He used to be stronger, but now he's not so strong. So he's only maybe... His rating has gone down. I think it's like 1500 or something. Maybe 1600. Maybe 1800. I don't know, since the rating boost. You must drill them into your head. Yeah. They're not always the best moves, but they're often good moves to just put pressure on the bishop. And especially in King's Indian, I used to play them a lot because knight h5 is good because maybe you can bring the knight to f4, or you can also play f5. So moving your knight on the edge of the board to prepare f5 is definitely a good plan. So, you castled. He castled as well. And now you played a6. Okay, so you want to prepare b5. Yeah, I guess knight a5 is again a move. But yeah, a6, it does make sense. Yeah, now he played a3, so you've missed your opportunity a bit. You know, sometimes with these moves, like a6, threatening b5, is maybe a bit too obvious. So it also inspires your opponent to play a3. And it's always annoying, because sometimes I do this as well in my games, where I'll see a move and I'll think it's a good move, but I don't want to play it because it will encourage my opponent to find something that's good, and then I won't play it. But you don't want to be playing those kinds of moves. You don't want to have that kind of thinking, because they should be able to see it without you inspiring them, but sometimes that is actually the case. So a6 maybe inspired him to play a3, but maybe not. So, although you're threatening b5, so maybe he did want to just go to a2. Okay, so you played b5, and he actually moved to b3. So if you wanted to play bishop a2, so maybe he actually just wanted to cover b4. Oh, and you still played b4. Okay. Okay, so I guess this is our first... Up until here, you played great. Even though a6 is... very little bit slow because you spend a move that you don't get tempo with. So knight a5 would be slightly better, but it's not a bad move. a6, b5 is a nice plan. Here, b4. Do you know why it gives you question exclamation? Why it's an inaccuracy? It's not bad. But what's maybe a problem with it? What does it do to your pawn structure? If you want to play b4, how do you want to be able to play it? Or how should you be able to play it? Or what would be a better way to prepare it? Or anyone else can also answer the question. Or maybe we all like b4. And I was going to say a5, but that would open my rook to be taken. Okay, so I guess. Oh, so no problem. I wasn't sure if you were gonna reply or not. Well, okay, so right now a5 doesn't work because you're gonna lose the pawn, so you can't play a5 yet, but you can prepare it. So b4 isn't actually going anywhere since they can't really stop you from playing it. If they play knight a5, then knight a2, they're just bringing their knight on not a great square over there. So yeah, so you can play rook b8 first. Actually, I really like this move, rook b8, and then you can play a5 and b4. The thing is, you want to be able to take with the pawn because you want to keep your pawns connected, your pawn island. If you play b4, they will be able to ruin your pawn structure, so you have this isolated pawn on a6, and they open up the a file, which is not ideal. So it's better to... You can just wait to play b4 in better conditions. I know it looks really tempting because it's a nice pawn push. You're also attacking the knight. But always, when you're going to offer, I guess, a trade or an exchange of pieces, just see if it's on your terms. So, do you want them to be able to take... I guess if they take, is it better for you or is it better for them? And it might be okay for you. It's not bad for you. Your knight is not bad on b4. But it's better for them because their pawn structure is better than yours and you don't have the a file. I guess you have the b file, but now your rook is maybe stuck protecting the pawn. If you move the bishop, you're also not going to protect the pawn anymore. So maybe it causes a little bit of weaknesses in your position. So if you can, rook b8, you can prepare it. Yeah. Or, you know, you can still just play knight a5. But, yeah, rook, if you want to play b4, rook b8 is a good idea. So, okay, so they took knight takes. And now they played rook a4. And I guess they're going to be doubling up. a5, yes! Okay, I actually do really like this move. Although, I can see that you're going to struggle to defend this pawn. But you have a really nice knight here. So they moved their knight out of the way. I guess they want to play c3 to kick your knight away. Now you attack the rook, yes. This is all good. Okay, so if you're white, probably you don't want to go back to a1 because now you've just lost a move. You played rook a4 and then now back to a1, so maybe you just want to play rook a3 because then you can still double up. It's probably better to just play rook a3. You'll lose your progress this way. Now you played knight g4. Okay, so you're threatening to fork. Yeah, this looks good. I was trying to find a way to, if you can trap the bishop, because if you play a4, if they go here, then maybe you're happy to take this bishop. But actually they'll just play knight c4, and I don't think it's too much effort to try kick the bishop away. So actually knight g4 looks very good. Okay, queen d2. They're defending this. And now I guess they're kind of... Well, I guess they're not really stopping you because it's going to be a trade, but I guess they win that pawn. So maybe it doesn't work. Okay, and you played c6. Okay, they label this as an inaccuracy. Let me see what they're saying. Oh. Okay, I guess a4 does work. a4 does work, and if they take your knight, you take their bishop, and if they take here... Oh, sorry! You take on e3, so this pawn is still attacked. Okay, so you actually win your pawns back. And this way... You also have the b-file. You get a Benko gambit, queenside without having to sacrifice a pawn, so it's definitely gonna be good. Yeah, I saw your annotation. I guess you wanted to attack the e3 pawn and your opponent defends e3. And, oh yes, I didn't see, I see your, I did this with the intention of queen b6. Oh, you wanted to play queen b6, okay. And why did you want to play queen b6? You wanted to defend your knight. I guess, did you want to overall play a4? Or you... Oh, sorry. You wanted to attack on e3. Sorry, that makes a lot of sense. You wanted to attack on e3. Okay, so... What I wanted to say is that... This is really good because you want to... you're using all of your pieces working together, and you want to work together with your pieces. I know, I'm being harsh. I know I'm being harsh. This is good. C6 is a good idea. I will just say that the problem is it's going to take you 2 moves to get to b6, and it only takes them 1 move to kick your knight away. So when you play c6, your queen is great on b6, but now they can play h3, and you have to move your knight back. And now when you play queen b6, it doesn't come with the same power. So instead, okay, it is difficult, but yeah, it's difficult to see a4 because there's a little bit to calculate that if they take and then you end up taking on e3. But okay, I'm turning off the engine because it's influencing me a bit, and I want to give you my own opinion. I guess I would actually play c6 with the intention of trying to play d5. It would just be kind of difficult because your e5 pawn is not protected by another pawn, I mean. It is protected by the knight, I guess, but they can kick your knight away. See you, Emma. Thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate it, and hopefully I'll see you in the next stream. Sleep well. 11:11. So It's always good to get your pieces working together, and a lot of the time maybe it will work, but if it takes too long, sometimes they'll be able to remove some of your attackers before you do it. Before you get a chance to get to the ideal position. So always see if your opponent can maybe stop your plan, but that's something that you always want to look out for. So I don't have a great heuristic phrase thing to remember for this. Anyways, moving on. So c6. Okay, so they kicked your knight, which makes sense. And woohoo! Double exclam! Brilliant! That's so good! So you weren't worried about the knight sacrifice because you were going to take here and there's going to be all kinds of discover checks. Well done! Nice move, TJ! That's beautiful. How long did it take you to see to... Wow! You only spent 30 seconds on this. That's so good! I wonder, did you calculate everything or were you just brave and you just trusted your position enough? I get to play the move and it's labeled double exclam, which I'll take this because I'm letting my b4 knight go. Yes, this is why. I know, but I know you were going to prepare queen b6 anyway, but did you see that c3 was attacking your knight or did you not care about it? I know. But I'm wondering if you were already prepared for c3. Or did you not mind so much that you were giving away a knight? You didn't care, okay. Okay, I guess it worked in this position, but it's always good to calculate. So in this case, it's good, but generally with these kinds of moves, it's good to think a little bit more because you want to make sure that you don't lose material. In this case, it works because there's a lot going on, but you need to... maybe you calculated before to see that after this... okay, you're threatening some discovery checks, but they can also maybe block. And... oh, this is what happened! This is what happened! Well done! You found all this. That's so great. So you played knight g4 and then the rook is pinned, so you're going to get an exchange back. If they defend their rook... hey, Coffin. If they defend their rook... now you've got... how much material do you have? I guess you can take another pawn. So, do you want to trade queens? Okay, so you have a rook for 2 pieces, but you also have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 pawns. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so you have a rook and pawn. Okay, so you have a rook and pawn for 2 knights. The bee said hello to you. Yes, you woke him up, Coffin. Yeah, no problem, Owen. We can do that one. Okay, there's a lot of calculation involved here, so I guess it's not so straightforward. I don't know if I would be so sure of this. I guess the computer likes it. Let me look at the engine and see what they say. Okay, so after pawn takes, now the knight took. Sorry, you took that anyway, and now they're suggesting rook f2, which is what was played. Okay, white has a really nice move here that isn't so easy to find, d4. And they're saying that queen e1 is better for black, but I wouldn't... Okay, you lose a lot of material, I guess. Yeah, they have to play knight c1, and their pieces aren't so active. I would still be a little bit nervous of giving away 2 pieces, especially since they can all work towards f7 maybe, and the queen is there as well. But I guess the rook and knight aren't really playing in this position, but there's a lot to calculate. So I don't think it's so easy to give away 2 pieces for a rook. Sometimes it's not. Okay, we're taking off. Oh.